Anna, where are you now? You're a housewife, so why aren't you taking care of the household at this time? Isn't that your duty? Where are you wandering around? Why couldn't I reach you this morning?
Well, Sally, I'm at the doctor right now because I think I might have gotten a cold. Why did you contact me? Is there anything I can help you with?
I just dropped off my daughter and my mom at your house, so from today you'll be taking care of them. I plan to pick them up again in a week, but my mom will stay with you from now on. I was gonna take care of them, but then I decided I didn't want to. You know that taking care of elderly relatives who can't even move is the responsibility of the daughter-in-law, right? And technically speaking, my last name shows that I'm not even part of this family, so from now on, Anna, take care of your mother-in-law. It's fully your responsibility from now on.
Literally, what are you talking about? Without discussing it in advance, you just handed over Jean and your mother to me? And it puts me in a difficult position, Sally. You're putting me in a bad spot here. Besides, I've never raised a child before, and I've never taken care of a semi-paralyzed person. You know that. Plus, I'm running a fever and not in good health right now, so I'm not in a position to take care of anyone. I told you I'm at the doctor. And let's be real here, I don't want to give Jean and Rachel the cold. You know how young and old people are more susceptible to viruses? They could catch a cold from me. I can't do this. I'm sorry, Sally, but I can't help.
Children naturally catch colds, coughs, and get sick while building their immunity. If Jean catches a cold, you can take her to the doctor, get her medicine, make her take it, so don't worry, it's not that difficult, right? And taking care of my mother is no big deal. You just change her diapers when it's time, and all you have to do is help her sit up and give her something like chicken noodle soup, maybe, some pickles. And I don't know, get some different kind of soup every now and then. See, it's not a big deal. You know that my mother can't speak anyway, so there's no nagging or any difficulties at all. And, well, I really don't understand why she suddenly lost her ability to speak when she was in a car crash and became half paralyzed. I mean, the doctors couldn't even pinpoint why she'd lost her ability to speak. She sure is a research topic, you know. Why did she become a useless old person who wouldn't even open her mouth? Unlike other people who never have traffic accidents in their entire lives. At the very least, she doesn't have to be a baggage to my life. This is terrible.
Well, you know, if you think about it, you're not really free from the blame. I mean, no offense, I'm just saying. You've always begged your mother for help with housework and childcare. That's why your mother agreed to live with you. But one day, wasn't it when your mother went grocery shopping and had an accident? So technically, if you hadn't treated her like a burden, your mother would have been enjoying her retirement at her own home by now. Don't you feel even a slight sense of guilt? I mean, I'm not pointing fingers or anything, but at least you can help her recover.
Anna, your thought process is really strange. Why is that my fault? Did I ask for an accident to happen to my mother? Do I look that low to you? Does taking care of the household and raising a child lead to accidents? It was just bad luck for my mother. And normally when a daughter has a child, it's the mother's natural responsibility to take care of them. If you look at my friends, their mothers take care of everything from A to Z. They say their mothers help them until their child goes to school, but what's this? My daughter is only 3 years old and my mother has become a burden who can't even control her own body. I feel sorry and ashamed in front of my husband, so I can't even look at him. It's already difficult enough to raise one child, so how am I supposed to take care of a semi-paralyzed mother too? So from now on, Anna, you can take care of my mother. You don't have children, so you don't have a reason to be more burdened than me, right? Do you understand? Doesn't my situation seem difficult to you even when you look at it?
All right, I see what you're trying to say. I'm currently on my way home, so please wait there for now. It's difficult to discuss this over text messages, so let's talk in person. Just wait a little bit. I'm near your house.
I don't think I can do that, Anna. I'm actually heading to the airport right now. I told Jean to wait outside the front door with her grandmother and not to move until Auntie arrives, so there's no need to worry. Jean is smart and listens well. She will be waiting for you right there.
What? You left the 3-year-old child with your mother in front of my house? This is unbelievable. How can you leave a physically disabled mother and a young child without a guardian like that? And you're at the airport? Are you going on a trip? And you entrusted your daughter and mother to me? Is that something a normal person would do?
Why? Can a mom go on a trip? Have you never gone on a trip before?
That is not the point. Besides, what about your husband? Is he going with you? Can't your husband take care of the child and Rachel for a while?
He's currently on a business trip abroad. If he can go on a business trip and travel abroad, there's no reason why I can't, right? And not just me. My brother is going too, so Anna, take care of Jean and my mother while I'm away. It will be fine.
Are you referring to my husband, Tom? He didn't say a word about going anywhere to me.
There's no point in telling you because you would just start bothering him with lectures. That's why he didn't say anything to you. If you hadn't treated Tom so badly all the time, my brother wouldn't have secretly planned a trip. I can't imagine how you treated him for him to act like this. I mean, he is such a nice person, but he would keep secrets from you?
What a ridiculous situation is this? A married brother and sister going on an overseas trip without their respective spouses with not a single explanation? How am I supposed to accept this? No matter how close siblings are, isn't this crossing a line? Please, explain it to me so that I can understand.
Anna, what strange thoughts are you having right now? It's not just Tom and me going alone, but my friend is treating us and we're going together. My friend is also a friend of Tom's.
Oh, so I'm supposed to feel relieved because it's not just you and my husband going alone? Is this friend someone you both knew from school or someone you met after graduating from college?
He's Tom's college friend, but we were friends too. He was doing business overseas for a long time and arrived in the States a few months ago. Ever since then, all of us met up a couple times. He's treating us to this trip now. That's why we're just going on a short vacation.
Is that man someone I know too? I normally know who Tom's friends are.
Even if I explain, would you understand? Anyway, you wouldn't know who that person is even if I explained. Why do you keep prying like that? Besides, this has nothing to do with you. Don't annoy me and just don't pay attention to me.
It has nothing to do with me? Would it be okay if I contact your husband to ask what's going on? You know I can't stand being curious and unsure about things, so please, explain it properly to me.
Okay, I get it. Just calm down. I'll explain everything. Tom's friend is someone I had a crush on in middle school. Since he came back to the US and I met him again 6 months ago, we've been meeting with good feelings. Are you satisfied now?
Are you saying you're having an affair right now? Are you confessing that you're cheating on your husband to me?
It's not an affair. I just think of that person as a friend. He's also married, so I have no intention of breaking up my family either. So it has to be kept a secret from my husband. Do you understand?
And now you want to abandon little Jean, who just turned 3? You're truly a disgusting human being. Do you think you still have the qualification to be a mother? Aren't you even sorry to your hardworking husband who works for the family? You know how much that person has been struggling for you and Jean. Aren't you ashamed in front of your daughter who considers you everything in the world? If you were a real human being, you wouldn't do such a shameless thing.
Anna, who do you think you are to try and teach me? Do you think you have the position to teach me? You, being infertile, dare to talk about being a mother to me? You can't even properly hold onto a man's heart, yet you babble whatever you want to your sister-in-law. At least I gave birth to a child. You haven't done anything.
Do you even hear yourself talking? I knew you were crazy, but I didn't know you were this delusional.
You're just an uncultured daughter-in-law in this family. You're the lowest ranking person in my family, and yet you dare to lecture me and act like my sister-in-law with your husband on your back? What a pity. How about you worry about your own situation before worrying about mine? Unlike you, I'm not stupid and charmless. Who lets herself be taken by a woman who stole another woman's husband?
What does that even mean? Speak clearly so I can understand. What does it mean that I had my husband stolen by another woman? Explain it properly to me.
Why? Are you afraid that someone like Tom, who earns a lot of money, will be taken by another woman? Did you think that someone like you, who is overweight and unattractive, would live with handsome and kind Tom for the rest of your life? When Tom was in school, he was popular among girls. Did you know that I introduced my friend, who had a crush on Tom in middle school, to him? And this trip is with that friend as well, a total of 4 people. Didn't you know? How do you feel now? Does betrayal make your blood boil? Do you feel like losing your mind? Can you understand even a little bit of how I feel now that you've taken Tom away from me without my permission? Do you know how much stress I've been through because of you, who married Tom without my consent? It's shameful that my brother married an unattractive woman like you.
Because of people like you, all sisters-in-law in the world end up with a bad impression. You're not just a thoughtless woman. Your character itself has rotted away. Both you and your brother, your whole family, engage in inhumane actions, and it seems like you're not afraid of karma.
Karma? What karma? You still hold on to that sort of thing? I have a friend who lives with an older man who is wealthy and much older than her, and people used to disregard her as a side chick. But wherever they go now, my friend is respected and treated as a mistress. His wife suffered from stress and died, but my friend married that man and now lives a comfortable and wealthy life. Just by looking at that, you can see there's no God and that karma doesn't exist. People who have done bad things go around freely and live well. But look at my mom now. She was a devoted woman, a great mother. She literally spent all her life dedicated to us, her children. But look at her. She became partially paralyzed overnight due to a car accident. Is this fair? Is this what you call fair? You live comfortably as a full-time housewife thanks to my Tom, so shut your mouth and be quiet while taking care of my mother. Understand?
I know that the house you live in is under your mother's name, but you treat her like baggage and trash after all the care she gave for you. And look at you now. You're abandoning her when she needs you the most, and you call yourself a daughter? Are you a human being even after doing such things? You're the one who's the real trash and scum. Not even a bug would live like this.
What? Did you just call me a bug and trash? I knew you were an ugly woman, but I didn't expect you to be so uneducated.
What's wrong with that? I'm just saying it as how it actually is. I don't see what the problem is here. Even respecting a vulgar woman like you as my sister-in-law has become tiresome. Did I make you feel like you were a royal princess because I respected you? You foolish woman.
What you're trying to say is really low, even for you, Anna. Are you really the same Anna I knew? The gentle and polite Anna? Is that you?
Yeah, polite my ass. Am I supposed to be polite to you? Rachel doesn't even say a word to me during holidays, but you act like you run the whole thing and make me do things like you're my boss. I've held back out of consideration for Rachel. It's not because I'm afraid of you. Now I realize you're just a worthless piece of trash. I can't believe that siblings like you came from someone as amazing as Rachel. Rachel just asked me to give her the real estate documents for the house you're living in. She even explained the situation to your husband and said she would put the house on the market. Let's stop now. I need to go to the real estate agent right away.
What did you say? You're putting my house on the real estate market? Then where am I supposed to live? And you said you explained the situation to my husband? What exactly did you say? What did you tell him?
I told him everything you said to me, and he said he would go to court as soon as he finishes his overseas business trip. Of course, your husband said he would definitely fight for Jean's custody, so you better be prepared. Isn't it obvious? Would your husband trust a cheap woman like you to take care of the child?
Hold on. Wait a minute. You're saying my mother told you to put the house on the real estate market? My mother is in a condition where she can't even speak since the accident. How could she ask you to put the house on the market? Are you secretly taking advantage of my mother's condition to sell the house and run away? If you have any thoughts of swallowing my house and property, stop right now. I will never let that happen.
Oh, please. The aphasia? You really don't know anything. Your mother experienced disappointment and despair beyond measure from you and your brother, and she chose to close herself off. Your mother heard everything you and your brother said outside her hospital room on the day she was taken to the hospital after the accident. She heard you two saying it would have been better if the old lady died so you could get insurance money and dispose of her property. She heard that you thought it would have been better if she had died, instead of living as a helpless body, unable to even speak for the rest of her life. But your mother was a stronger person. She didn't want to commit the sin of deliberately taking her own life just because she wanted to die. She chose to keep living.
Is that true? Did my mother really hear everything I said?
Your mother decided to move to a retirement community with the money from selling her house and her property.
Are you crazy? Who gave you the right to sell the house and empty the property?
What your mother does with her property is not your concern, is it? Aren't you in your 30s and yet you don't understand such a simple principle?
How can a helpless elderly person who can't even walk go to a retirement community without my help? Stop talking nonsense.
I'm here. I am your mother's daughter-in-law. I will take responsibility and provide the best facility for your mother so you don't have to worry about that. Oh, and tell Tom. Tell him to pay me the alimony, get divorced, and go on a trip together with his secret lover. Funny thing is, Tom said your mother passed away so that he would take a week off work. He just blatantly lied to the company about his mom. Tell him that he'll have to pack his things once he gets back.
Is this really how it's going to be, Anna? What on earth are we doing as a family? Stop everything right now. Otherwise, no matter how much you beg, I will never forgive you.
I have never done anything to ask for forgiveness from someone like you. I hope your bitter affair trip abroad turns out just as unpleasant as you are. After all that, I received alimony from my husband, divorced him, and Sally got divorced by her husband and even lost custody. My ex-husband, whose career was ruined, has been struggling to find employment for quite a long time, but he keeps failing, the last time I heard. I heard rumors that he now works at a small company run by his friend. Must not be easy for him to work under his friend, considering his pride. Ironically, those adulterous bugs, for some unknown reason, have all broken up. Perhaps it's the natural consequence of their infidelity. Those individuals care only about their immediate pleasure without any regard for the pain inflicted upon others. Such animalistic behavior cannot be called love. And they bear no responsibility for their frivolous affairs. I don't know if they even learned anything from all this. Based on their usual behavior, they would just think they got unlucky. Who knows? Maybe they have just wanted a rush of dopamine in their lives just for the fun of it. At the very least, I hope they feel remorse for breaking a family. But I'm glad that I am no longer with that dirty piece of crap. I don't know what I'll do at the moment, but I'll just take a break for a while. At the very least, I still have Rachel to keep company. She's regaining health and will be up and running in no time. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, hit the like button and subscribe to see more content.
Michelle, thank you for arranging Mom's funeral. Jay and I could not have done it without your help. I just wanted to take a moment to express my sincere gratitude and appreciation for everything you've done for our family for a long time. Your kindness, patience, and understanding have meant so much to us, and we're truly grateful for all the sacrifices you've made on our behalf. Thank you, Michelle, for being there for Mom when she needed you the most. We cannot thank you enough for your dedication over the past 7 years. And we will always remember your generosity and selflessness. I mean it when I say this. If it weren't for you, we would have had much harder time sending Mom away. I am truly grateful for all the help and support you provided us during this difficult process. We could not have done it without you.
Hi, Ruth. I did it for Betty. She treated me like her own daughter rather than her daughter-in-law during her lifetime, and I should reciprocate that level of affection. It's sad that I can't do more for her now.
I'm thankful and everything, but if someone who didn't know us saw us, they might think that you are her daughter and I'm her daughter-in-law. You were crying so uncontrollably when Mom was carried away to the crematorium that you almost fainted, and I felt awkward and embarrassed standing next to you. As her biological daughter, I tried to remain calm and composed, but seeing you crying like that made me wonder what others would think of me.
You didn't have to try to remain calm and composed. You were allowed to lose it. It was your mom who passed.
I didn't want to show crying uncontrollably to anyone unlike someone I know. It's not that I don't appreciate your love and affection toward my mom, but it's important to maintain a certain level of decorum and composure during formal events like funerals. I understand that you loved her dearly, and losing her is a deeply emotional experience, but you went overboard. We need to think about how our actions and behaviors might be perceived by others. We don't want to give the wrong impression or create unnecessary misunderstandings.
What wrong impression or unnecessary misunderstandings? The part where her own daughter couldn't stop smiling from the beginning to the end of her funeral process and her daughter-in-law was so opposite of her?
Was I supposed to cry out loud in front of the guests like you? That wouldn't be polite to the guests who came to pay their respects. Mom was sick all the time due to minor and major illnesses, but she lived until the age of 73, which can be considered a blessing. I don't think it was necessary for you to cry and make a scene to that extent. Don't you think it's better for Mom to rest in peace in heaven, free from the suffering of illness and living without dignity, who was unable to even get up from her bed or take care of herself without your help? Nowadays, people say that the 70s are the new 50s, but Mom couldn't enjoy that. It must have been pitiful for her to be like that in front of her daughter-in-law, even if she never said such a thing. It seemed like a good thing for both Mom and you, but was it really necessary for you to cry so much like that?
You claim to care so much about your mom, but you couldn't even be there for her final moments. What an irony, right? Betty spent the last 3 days before her passing desperately waiting and calling out your and your brother's names. Why didn't you bother to visit her at the hospital? Not even once?
I told you I was busy. You might not know how a mom's life is because you don't have a child, but I don't have the luxury of going to a hospital because I'm a mom. I don't have time for that. And how was I supposed to bring my 3-year-old child to the hospital to see my dying mom? What if something happened and my little one got scared or traumatized? She had to go, but we must continue living our lives. I can't wait by her bed endlessly when I don't know when she's going to pass, putting my own baby aside. Mom would surely understand because she was a mother too.
Did you have to hurt Betty's feelings like that when you're also a mom raising your own child? I'm really disappointed. You left all the caregiving and hospital bills to me. And on top of that, you didn't even fulfill your duty to be there for your own mom's passing. And then you showed up at the funeral smiling, as if nothing had happened. Is your little brain filled with cotton flowers or something?
Don't you think you're the one who lived foolishly without a brain? You're the one who gave up everything for a stranger who has not shared a drop of the same blood. You must be an idiot.
Excuse me?
I am grateful to you for being a faithful caregiver for my mom for the past 7 years. Thanks to you, I was able to send her to heaven without getting my hands dirty even once, and I was able to inherit our mother's assets as well. She must have secretly accumulated a great deal of wealth. What should you do when I'm the one who is receiving the inheritance instead of you when you did all the work? The thought of receiving free money is so exciting that I can't sleep and focus on anything. It's a shame that you don't know what I'm talking about.
Is that why you were smiling all through the funeral like a psychopath?
Yes, I was. So what? Wouldn't it be the same for you, me, or anyone else? No one hates money in this world. Everyone tries to make a lot of money, and free money is even better. If I inherit the money from Mom, I can buy a spacious single-family house with a big yard and a luxurious car like a Tesla. What about you, though? Poor Michelle. You have been my mom's hands and feet for 7 years, but unfortunately the law does not recognize you as an heir. I guess that means a daughter-in-law is an outsider. It must be very unfair to you, but the law strictly specifies a daughter-in-law cannot be an heir. What can we do about that, right? Should I say, I'm sorry for you not getting anything after what you've done for my mom? It would be better for your mental health to give up on it sooner than later because that's the law, and you'll never be able to get it. Jay and I have made decisions already. I'll take the money, and Jay will take the house, so don't be shameful and try to take them when they clearly don't belong to you, okay? We're going to see the attorney today for the inheritance process. You don't need to show up just because you're Jay's wife. You're not invited, and not welcomed.
It's truly a shame that you two are now so eager to lay your hands on your mother's hard-earned assets, when you never showed compassion toward her for such a long time. For 7 years, you never bothered to lend a helping hand when it was needed, nor did you care enough to change a single diaper. And yet, now that she's passed away, you're suddenly interested in what she left behind. It's sad when greed takes over familial ties and the love and respect you have for your mother is overshadowed by a desire for material possessions. If you truly had any affection for her, you would have been there for her when she needed you the most. You would have been by her side, tending to her needs and easing her pain, but you were never there. Although she didn't say anything, she must have felt hurt and disappointed by your and Jay's behaviors. It's hard to imagine the pain she must have gone through, being neglected by her own children when she was in need. And now, in her absence, you're only interested in what you can gain from her assets. But the truth is, material possessions hold no value in comparison to the love and respect we have for our loved ones. If you actually cared about your mother, you would have been there for her when she needed you, and the issue of her assets would not even be a concern. In the end, her legacy is not in the assets she left behind, but in the memories of love she shared with her children and grandchild.
Who do you think you are giving me a lecture about my mom and whatever? You're crossing a line when you're about to be dumped by my brother. You're going to be left with nothing pretty soon, but I guess you're not aware of that, are you?
Am I? What do you mean?
Did you not notice that my brother has been seeing someone behind your back? I wonder how you didn't realize your husband was having an affair for years. You should have paid attention to your husband rather than devoting yourself to caring for your mother-in-law. It's sad to see you being abandoned by my brother after what you've done for his mom for such a long time. This is why it's significant to prioritize what's more important and what comes first in your life.
Is that true? Jay has been cheating on me behind my back for years?
Wait and see if you don't believe me. He's going to declare a divorce pretty soon. I think I've told you enough about what's going on. I told you everything for your sake as a token of appreciation for taking care of my mom. Take care of it on your own from this point on. All I care about is my share of the inheritance. I don't care how my brother's marriage or divorce goes. Good luck.
I just heard something funny from Ruth. Don't you have anything to say to me?
Like what? Oh, right. I almost forgot to say. I should say thank you for everything. Honey, thank you so much for everything that you've done for my mom and my family. As her son, I am incredibly grateful for all that you've done for my mom. 7 years of devoted care is a monumental feat that not many people are capable of, and it speaks volumes about your love and dedication towards her. But what truly touched my heart was when you went above and beyond to make sure that her passing away was peaceful and dignified. The formal and respectful atmosphere that you created during her final moments was a testament to the love and respect that you had for her. It was a beautiful and fitting tribute to the amazing woman that she was and the incredible life that she led. I know that she would have been proud of the way that you honored her memory. Thank you for being an incredible daughter-in-law and for always putting our family first. I owe you a great deal of debt of gratitude that I promise to repay in my next life.
What the hell are you talking about? If you think you owe me, you should repay me in this life. What kind of next life are you talking about?
That's because I'm not someone who can love multiple women at the same time. Besides, I'm a person who is too inadequate. I can hold only one person in my heart, and unfortunately, that person is not you. I'll be honest, since it seems like you've already heard everything, I'm in love with someone else, and I want you to let me go. I appreciate all that you've done for me and my family, but I want to spend the rest of my life without any regrets, and that means being with the woman I love. She's the one true love of my life, and I want to grow old with her as my official spouse. To do that, I need you to divorce me.
Are you saying that you want to live with the love of your life now that your mother has passed away and you no longer need me to take care of her?
Regrettably, yes, you're correct.
What was I to you? Was I just a caregiver and a maid who took care of your mother and you?
There's no need for you to be so pessimistic about it. Marriage doesn't have to exist only in one form, right? There are countless reasons why people get married, such as for love, money, fame, or even just appearances. I married you because I needed a woman who could take care of my mom and support me, that's all. I needed you one way or the other. It was just not necessarily for a traditional form of love.
You're confidently asserting such nonsense as if it were the truth. That's ridiculous.
Isn't marriage supposed to be done for the purpose of achieving a goal? Isn't it marriage to consider it for one's own benefit? Didn't you think that way? Why didn't you?
So, you're saying your purpose of marrying me was to use me as your mother's caregiver and your maid, and you don't need me anymore because she's gone. Is that what it is?
Now things have happened already. It seems like your situation will only become more pathetic if you think about it that way. Let's break up. It's about time to say goodbye to each other. Please, divorce me and get the hell out of my house. I'll go through the proper process of property division, and I'll make sure that you get an appropriate amount of assets and properties on top of alimony. Don't worry about that. But you need to get out of the house because I'm getting this house from Mom. It's mine, and I don't invite you into this house to live together.
Did you just say property division? You've been coming up with all sorts of excuses all this time to spend money? What property are you talking about? Do you even have any property to divide? You don't have anything left. I'll pack up your belongings in a box and leave them outside the door for you to pick up. Go to the love of your life with that. This time, it's a marriage based on love, so I hope you live happily ever after, loving each other until death do you part.
Were you not listening to me? Have you finally lost it after being dumped by me and losing Mom who you leaned on? I thought I said that I'm getting this house, which means it's mine, and I don't want to live with you anymore.
You really need to get your facts straight. It's audacious to see such things for someone who has never taken care of his mother, who was bedridden for 7 years. Do you seriously think you can inherit this house? Do you think your sister can inherit her mother's assets? It's all just a pipe dream, as long as I'm alive and well. Even if I die, you won't get anything. We'll soon be divorced and become strangers, remember? You'll soon be another woman's husband.
What the hell are you talking about? I don't follow at all.
Of course you don't. How could you understand when you've never paid attention to your mom or me? This house was gifted to me by Betty a year ago, so there's absolutely no way you will inherit it. On top of that, she also has gifted all of her money to me. So make sure to tell your sister that as well. Tell her that she's the one who shouldn't be shameful and try to take the assets when they clearly don't belong to her. Prepare her for a shock that might feel like a bolt from the blue. I won't be able to take care of anyone who falls down this time because I won't be your wife anymore, remember? You should ask the love of your life to take care of you and your sister. Your love should be able to do that for you, right?
I don't believe that. I'm calling Ruth right now. This is an important matter that we have to fight over between the two of us and you alone.
Did you say my mom gifted everything to you, including her house and money? There's no damn way that can be true. Why are you taking all my mom's property when you're a total stranger? They belong to us. We're her children, not you. That's the law. What kind of dirty trick did you use to her that made her give you everything she had? Tell me.
I have no idea what you're talking about. I have never used any kind of tricks.
If you didn't do anything, why did my mom give you the house and money? Confess everything you've done and give back the house and money. Otherwise, I'll find the best lawyer and take everything away from you. Give it all back when I ask nicely.
I just accepted what she wanted to give me. So how can you take them away from me? Do you think you can just take everything away with the help of a top lawyer if I don't give it to you? Don't you still get why she had to make such a painful decision? Why do you think she gave it to me instead of her own children? If you could tell me just one thing that you two did for her during the 7 years she was bedridden, please, go ahead.
I didn't have time to take care of or pay attention to Mom because I was too busy working and making money for the both of you. Isn't that what all men do? Don't you think things at home should be taken care of by you as long as I provide the money?
Don't you dare make excuses. Instead of watching TV and playing games on your phone while lying on the couch, you could have spared a second looking at your mother's face, holding her hand, and having a few words with her. What kind of son doesn't check in on his mother when she's in the hospital or recovering from surgery? Were you even interested if she was sick or not? Do you think you deserve to be called her son after being so negligent about your own mother?
I said I was busy working and putting food on the table.
I was busy too, raising a kid and taking care of my own family. Why are you making such a big deal of it when taking care of your mother-in-law is supposed to be her daughter-in-law's responsibility? It's how it's supposed to be.
Have you ever seen the bitter expression in your mother's eyes as she weakly smiled at the nurse's words, "Your daughter is so devoted to her mom," every time she was hospitalized? She didn't even hope for any care from you. She just wished you came and showed your face to her. Was that too much to ask for her? Do you know what your mother talked about the most until she passed? She said she cried tears of joy when she gave birth to you. You were her first child, and she loved you so much. She woke up in the middle of the night multiple times to check if you were breathing because she was worried about your small, fragile life. Then she woke up again to see if you were sleeping well. Your mother talked about every milestone in your life, from your first words to your first steps, to the day you told her about your first boyfriend, going to college, getting a job, getting married, getting pregnant, and giving birth to your child. She talked about your growth process over and over again, and her expressions of peace, happiness, and sadness while talking about you are still vivid in my mind. What about you? What is the image of your mother in your head as her daughter? While she couldn't stop thinking and talking about you until she closed her eyes, how did you picture your mother?
Did she really miss me and think about me so much? Yeah, that's how it used to be back then. There were times when she was the best and I couldn't live without her. I remember all the things she did for me and how much she loved me. She was always there for me, even when things were tough. She would listen to my problems and offer words of wisdom and encouragement. She was my biggest cheerleader and my best friend. But why did it turn out like this? Suddenly I miss her so much, but she's gone to a place where I can never see her again. I want to hear her voice and tell her I love her and she will listen to me, but she is gone forever from this world. It's hard to accept that she's really gone.
Ruth, what is wrong with you? Oh, wake up, don't be fooled by Michelle. Don't you realize we're gonna lose everything to her if you're being so emotional like this? Money is all we have left now. Mom is gone already, and we can't do anything about that. But we can do something about her assets. So keep it together and let's hold on to what we have left. Don't let Michelle take everything from us.
Hey, you are the one who should be snapped out of it. Did you have to be a monster just because I did? How could you do that to Mom after what she did for you? You left everything to Michelle and had fun with another woman, and you're still being like a lazy bum acting recklessly. Apologize to Michelle right now and repent sincerely to Mom like you mean it.
How am I supposed to stand back on my feet when even you're doing this to me? My heart is already broken with grief and regret for Mom, and if you act like that too, then what am I supposed to do? Michelle, I am so sorry, honey. I was a fool. Don't ever forgive me. I know how hard and painful it was for you to take care of my mom, who was a stranger to you. I am really sorry.
It's right that you should apologize for your infidelity, but I never thought taking care of Betty was painful and hard. One day I happened to take a look at her wallet. Inside the wallet, there was a photo of her and me that was taken on a spring day when the daffodils were in full bloom. Behind the photo, there was a note that said, "With my beloved daughter." I wasn't just a daughter-in-law to her, but her own daughter. So when she offered to give me the house and the money, I gladly accepted them because I am her daughter and she is my mother.
I am so sorry, Michelle, and thank you so much for everything that you've done.
After that, I divorced my husband and I got a fat payout from alimony. Knowing that he didn't have that kind of money, I assume he took out a loan. I also heard from a mutual friend that he broke up with his mistress and cried out loud saying that he couldn't even dream of getting back together with me due to his lack of shame. It made me feel a bit sad, but that's as far as it goes. The mirror that I cherished and kept clean has already been shattered. It can't go back to the way it was. As for my sister-in-law, there was no mention of the money or house after that, and I heard that she was working hard along with her husband. I'm sure my mother would be proud of her children who are repenting and trying to live right, although it was a little bit late. I am living every day with gratitude for the house and money that my mother left me. It's still lonely and empty living alone in the house where she and I used to live together, but at the same time I'm happy to live in the house where I can cherish the memories of her. Although she was gone to a place where she can never return, I hope she can live there without pain, sadness, or longing toward her children. Like the photo we took on the day when the daffodil flowers were in full bloom, I hope my mother, myself, my husband, and my sister-in-law all have a happy future. Thanks for watching. If you liked the video, please like and subscribe for more videos.